Mohammed Yousuf is the founder and president of Equally Able Foundation. It's a nonprofit organization dedicated to empowering people with disabilities all around the world. Since 2001, the Equally Able Foundation has provided inclusion and disability awareness information in seminars and workshops and events to thousands of people all across the United States. Mr. Yousuf is also a research transportation specialist with the Office of Operations Research and Development, and he's leading the new Accessible Transportation Technology Research Initiative, which focuses on improving the mobility of travelers with disabilities using intelligent transportation systems and assistive technology. If you will join me in welcoming Mohammed Yousuf.
Good morning, everyone. Good morning, Eric. Good morning, Bill, for making that easy for me. It's really an honor to be here. And I was very moved by your story, Jolene. And if you were a blogger during my days, in my town, probably I would also be one of your Russells. Because what you said now is something that I faced when I was growing up. And this is something that really was so devastating to me and to my family that at one time they were setting aside funds to do something else besides sending me to school. And then at about the age of 12, that was the first time I went to school. And I used to be so vulnerable, so fragile, that I still remember the days I will miss school because the person or the caregiver who used to carry my books would not be there. So I could relate to what you were saying. I still see that happening in the faith communities, and that is probably one of the reasons I try to do as much, to see. Because I think what is happening is when we say something to shut something off for somebody, we don't realize the damage that is doing to him and to his family and the people around him. For someone to make a comment and walk away, they just don't realize they're doing that in the midst of so many other things, but that literally is, is something that the family will take a long time to, overcome. And there's a lot I could talk, but I know we only have so much time. But something that helped me, and I don't know how, when I look back, I don't know how I got that. But I got a way to look at things differently and to not lose hope. And I think you, Eric, and all have talked about the reason why God created us. From the microbes to the small insect to everything, the leaves, there is a reason why we are here. And there is a purpose behind that. And we, as in living the life that we live, we lose the reasoning behind that. And we become judgmental and we pass remarks. And we are doing everything, I think, in terms of what is required of the Americans with Disabilities Act to make houses of worship more accessible, but what we need is more on inclusion, a welcoming environment that allows people to come without having the fear of what someone is going to say and how they're going to be not allowed inside. So the challenges, the issues I had growing up led to a different feeling, something that I started to, as I said, look differently at. What I did is not to go after some things that I don't have, but to look to see how I could use that to make a difference. And thank God, I was actually fortunate to have some people in my life. And someday if I write a book, I will write about them. I call them my visionaries. And they gave me more than what I could think of, in terms of building confidence, or even like the steps that I took here today. I used to think like I'm not able to do that. Until someone said, you could do that. And I think that is the role I hope our communities, faith communities especially, will play. Because when you are desperate, when you are disconnected, when you are feeling low, you want to turn to your faith to draw from. And if the faith communities and the houses of worship are not there for you, that will really, not be very useful. So in terms of the welcoming environment, if we could do something, that will be great. I think I only got a minute. Some things I would want to emphasize is, we think like we know disability, but honestly, there is so much more to disability than just knowing it. So I would request all communities, all interfaith communities, to at least try to learn about a person within your neighborhood and try to make you shadow them for a day, and find out all the little things that they go through in a day. I tell you, your perspective will change. The way you look at them again will change. So as I was going through my life, I'm happy to have what I have. I feel so blessed. I have a wonderful wife, Humera. I got 3 kids. They love me to death. And I got my parents, and I communities. I got friends, who give me hope every day. I got my work, place. The folks at work are awesome. So when we started Equally Able in 2001, our hope was to empower people with disabilities. And honestly, I didn't think we will come this far as we have come. We still got a long ways to go. But this foundation is working in 5 countries now. We have a special focus on inclusion and houses of worship. About 4 years ago, we published a guide. I got some copies outside. And this really has helped to reach to different communities within the U.S. And even I get emails from other countries, France, Pakistan, and others, who are trying to use this guide to talk about inclusion in houses of worship. The foundation, if you want to look it up, equallyable.org, EQUALLYABLE.org. I thought I had more time than to talk about you, but I think my time is up. Again, thank you very much. It again was an honor to be up here. Thank you.